organization, and I'm a proud member of the Caribbean diaspora residing in the city of Rochester and in the towns and villages of Monroe County. First, I would like to thank Mayor Malik Evans for his support and for hosting us this morning here at the City Hall as we mark the first day of National Caribbean American Heritage Month. I would also like to thank Rochester City Council President Malik Melendez, Monroe County Deputy Executive Health and Human Services Corinda Crosdale, Rochester West Indian Festival Organization's Interim President Danielle King, and Rochester Jamaican Organization's President Joel Frater for joining us here as well, and we'll be hearing from them shortly. Before I invite the mayor up to provide some remarks, I want to provide you with a brief history of Caribbean American Heritage Month. In June 2005, the House of Representatives unanimously adopted a resolution sponsored by Congresswoman Barbara Lee, recognizing the significance of Caribbean people and their descendants in the history and culture of the United States. On February 14, 2006, the resolution similarly passed the Senate, culminating a 2-year bipartisan bicameral effort. Then on June 6, 2006, the proclamation was issued by President George W. Bush, proclaiming the month of June as National Caribbean American Heritage Month. Since the declaration, the White House has issued an annual proclamation recognizing June as Caribbean American Heritage Month. Every year with this marking the 16th celebration of June as National Caribbean American Heritage Month, and the 11th year we're celebrating it here locally in Rochester. And with that, I would like to invite Mayor Malik Evans up to the podium, followed by Rochester City Council President Miguel Melendez.
Thank you, and welcome to City Hall. So great to see everybody here today. It's always good to be able to recognize the 11th Annual National Caribbean Heritage Month. Again, I want to thank my council colleague, President Miguel Melendez, for being here, Deputy County Executive Corinda Crosdale, Cheryl Hayward, and Joe Frater. Right here in City Hall, we are joining the nation in honoring Caribbean Americans. And when I look up at all these beautiful flags, I can't help but feel pride. For many Black Americans, having an understanding of the ancestral heritage is so very important. It's important to know where you come from so you know where you are going. Having a deep understanding of one's culture, of one's identity is important, and we want everyone to be able to have that. Today is appropriate that we take time to celebrate it because we need more celebrations. Things were on hold during COVID. We get a chance to really get together and celebrate the way we usually do. And this year, we're going to do that. I want to thank all the groups that work so hard to make Caribbean American Heritage Month the special time it's become here in Rochester. Not only does it promote diversity, but it also highlights the community's appreciations for all of the diversity that we have in the community. And I look forward to joining you at a special event on Tuesday, June 28th, right outside City Hall to listen to some Caribbean music, learn a bit about Caribbean history and culture, and most importantly, to eat. To eat the delicious food. So now, before I officially proclaim Caribbean Heritage Month here, I want to see some of what we have represented. So Jamaica. So who's representing Jamaica? All right, we got Jamaica represented. Good. I've been there several times, Montego Bay and other places. My wife has a Jamaican uncle that makes some of the best oxtail I've ever had. Haiti. Anybody representing Haiti? No? Haiti. Dominican Republic. All right, there we go. DR. Trinidad and Tobago. Go. There we go over there. Barbados. Antigua and Barbuda. What are some of the other ones? Am I missing any of the other ones? Aruba, St. Thomas, Dominica. What else? Bahamas, St. Martin. Any other ones? St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Puerto Rico. What else? So I'm saying that because think about the diversity that represents our Caribbean community. And right here in Rochester, which is a rich tapestry of all of the countries that you see up here and so many more. So this is a great celebration. I'm going to turn it over to Council President Miguel Melendez to bring some remarks. But before he gives remarks, we are going to present a proclamation. We do the proclamation every year for the Caribbean Organization, and in particular, the Rochester West Indian Festival Organization. Now, I'm sure the festival organizers make a lot of money to keep this festival going. They don't. These are volunteers that keeps this going. And when you keep stuff going in a volunteer basis, it's hard to do. People move on, people move out of state, people get busy with their lives, but they have continued for years keeping this organization going. Back to when I was a kid, I remember participating in events through the Rochester West Indian Festival Organization. So, Mr. President, you want to come up and let's present this proclamation. I'll read the first whereas, you read the second, and you can read the second and the third, and I'll read the now therefore. Is that okay? Very well. So, whereas the Rochester West Indian Festival Org, RWIFO, and the Rochester Jamaican Organization highlight the month of June as National Caribbean American Heritage Month with the 11th annual flag raising ceremony at City Hall. The event pays recognition to 24 Caribbean islands and honors the significance of the Caribbean people and their descendants in the history and culture of the United States as well as locally. Through the commemoration of this month, first established by a White House proclamation in 2006, America is reminded that its greatness lies in its diversity.
Whereas many members of Rochester's Caribbean American community have made outstanding contributions to the fabric of our city. To name a few, Garth Fagan, renowned dance choreographer, founder and artistic director of Garth Fagan Dance, Hilda Rosario Escher, former president and CEO of Ibero-American Action League, and Dr. John V. Joseph, MD, MBA, FACS, chairman of the Department of Urology at the University of Rochester Medical Center, named 2018 RWIFO Community Service Award recipient, and whereas Rochester's Caribbean American community is comprised of around 39,000 residents, and the city of Rochester is proud of the many contributions by its Caribbean American community and recognizes their vibrant visual and performing arts, cuisine, leadership, and numerous other strengths. Congratulations also to the Rochester West Indian Festival Organization and the Rochester Jamaican Organization for their successful efforts to share and promote the cultural heritage of our Caribbean American community.
Now, therefore, we, Mayor Malik D. Evans, Council President Miguel A. Melendez, Council Vice President Mary Lupien, and Council Members Mitch Gruber, Lachey D. Harris, Willie J. Lightfoot, Stanley Martin, Michael A. Patterson, Jose Pio, Kim Smith of the City of Rochester, New York, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2022 to be Caribbean American Heritage Month. Okay, and I know Council President, you want to make a couple of comments? Then we'll turn it back over to our hostess.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, welcome everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank and acknowledge all of the organizers for the events to come in the month of June, and as well as this acknowledgement of Caribbean Heritage Month. The entire month of June was developed in this country to recognize and honor all of the contributions from Caribbean descendants living in the United States. This is the 16th time we are celebrating this month as a country, and the 11th time the city of Rochester is acknowledging this effort. Many Caribbean people have contributed to innovation, arts, culture, government, economy. As a reminder, one of our founding fathers was a Caribbean immigrant who came to this country and established many of our financial systems. This month, there will be many planned events. And culminating here at City Hall on June 28th, we will be celebrating food, music, culture. And we thank everyone who is part of this community for contributing to Rochester society and to be a welcoming melting pot for all those who are coming to the United States and specifically to Rochester. Thank you all, and we look forward to this month.
Thank you, Mayor Evans and Council President Melendez, once again for your support and recognition of June as Caribbean American Heritage Month here in the city of Rochester. Next, I would like to invite County Deputy Executive Corinda Crosdale to provide a few remarks.
Good morning. I want to start by thanking the mayor, city council, and our team from our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion office who is here with us today. They truly represent the diversity in our community, and I'd like to give that thanks on behalf of our county executive, Adam Bello. As a mother and grandmother of descendants of the Caribbean, it gives me great pleasure to be here to celebrate National Caribbean Heritage Month with you. Our community's strength is derived from the diversity of cultures, languages, traditions, and perspectives. The unique contributions of Caribbean descendants have shaped the fabric of our nation and our community. From healthcare, education, business, and the arts, Caribbean Americans across the country and here in Monroe County continue to inspire innovation and enrich our community. Though today marks the beginning of Caribbean American Heritage Month, we celebrate their vibrant culture all year round, and I'd like to recognize that with a proclamation from Monroe County. Whereas since 2006, the month of June has been celebrated across the United States as Caribbean American Heritage Month, recognizing the significance of Caribbean people and their descendants in the history and culture of the United States. And whereas roughly 13 million Americans, or 4% of the population in the United States of America, can trace their ancestry to the Caribbean, having woven elements of their arts, culture, language, and food, especially the food, into the larger patchwork of our nation. And whereas in Rochester and Monroe County, organizations like the Rochester West Indian Festival Organization showcase the strong and vibrant Caribbean American community in festivals and events that promote Caribbean culture, including hosting an annual costume parade that highlights the traditional carnival spirit of the Caribbean with its flamboyant costumes and music. And whereas locally our Caribbean American community uses their platform to educate the people of Rochester and surrounding communities about Caribbean culture, ensure their culture is passed on to the next generation through education and cultural incentives, and support young people by providing scholarships to college-bound minority students. And whereas the rich cultural diversity of our region makes Monroe County a more energetic and exciting place to live, work, and raise a family. We are grateful for the many contributions of our Caribbean American friends, families, and neighbors, and look forward to celebrating with them all month long. Now, therefore, Adam J. Bello, Monroe County Executive, does hereby proclaim the month of June 2022 Caribbean American Heritage Month. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Corinda, for your support, and please share our thanks to the County Executive for his support as well. Next, I'd like to invite the Rochester West Indian Festival Organization's Interim President, Danielle King, followed by the Rochester Jamaican Organization's President, Joel Frater, up to provide a few remarks.
Hello. Thank you, Mayor Evans, and thank you, President Mendez, for partnering with us as we celebrate Caribbean American Heritage Month. As we know, culture is what shapes a society. The traditions, values, creeds that individuals live by are at the core and foundation. The foundation of West Indian culture is fortified with dedication and relentless ambition for what we desire. The Caribbean community has contributed to the growth of Monroe County and the city of Rochester via our festivals and events. We are nurses, we are doctors, we are CEOs, we are business owners, engineers, laborers, mothers, and fathers, and we all call Rochester home. As we are a mosaic of skills and talents contributing to the daily advancements and becoming the change we want to see, we love coming to Rochester. We love celebrating and sharing our culture with this community. Those like Gloria Langston, Pearl Ruggles, leaving an everlasting blueprint for the generations to come, the RWIFO and RJO believes in the future of the community. our purpose is to invest in the our purpose is to invest in the continuous elevation of the education of the youth through our mentorships and scholarships. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is indeed a pleasure to be here. The only thing that's missing is some curry goat, rice and peas, and some rum punch. Come on, that's soft, Mayor. Rum punch. It is indeed a pleasure to be here. I want to acknowledge Mayor Evans, Deputy Commissioner Corinda Crosdale, representing the county, my RWIFO counterpart, President King. You're not president yet, but I'm calling you President King, our Lady of Honor, chair of this session today. And I want to pause to acknowledge the committee that's been planning National Caribbean American Heritage Month over the last several weeks. Baby Cat, Jermaine, Cheryl, Joan Gordon isn't here, but I know if she could be here, she would be here today, as you heard. And then Casmic, who is our other fearless co-chair of this event. This month was founded by Dr. Claire Nelson and celebrated across the country as early as 2000. However, the move to officially declare June as National Caribbean American Heritage Month started in 2004. And as you heard, the pioneering work of Congresswoman Barbara Lee and the pen of George W. Bush, who made this official in 2006. Whereas we celebrate our Caribbean heritage each and every day, during this month, we shine a spotlight on the many contributions of the Caribbean community in areas of science, medicine, business, community service, sports, politics, just to name a few. President Biden, in his proclamation yesterday, stated, and I quote, "This month, our nation also celebrates the extraordinary leadership and achievements of Vice President Kamala Harris, the first American of Jamaican heritage to hold this high office." He also went on to say, "I'm honored to celebrate alongside brilliant and dedicated public servants of Caribbean heritage, including Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona, Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandra Mayorkas, and Domestic Policy Advisor Susan Rice. And who can forget our nation's first Supreme Court Justice of Puerto Rican descent, Sonia Sotomayor, and the pioneering work of General Colin Powell, who was of Jamaican descent. Closer to home, we celebrate through RWIFO and RJO. We uplift our local leaders. Around us, as you heard earlier, we have a pioneer like Garth Fagan. We have the president and CEO of Action for a Better Community of Antiguan descent, Jerome Underwood. At our EOC right here in Rochester, we have Dr. Roosevelt Marius of Haitian descent. Each and every day, we uplift our leaders throughout our community here in Rochester and throughout the county as a whole. I want to embrace the work and the vision and the wisdom of our county executive and our mayor in uplifting the theme of community building in all the work they do. We want to make sure we're standing on the shoulders of people like Dolores Lewis, one of the first midwives in this community. There was a time, remember, when babies were delivered at home, and one of the pioneers was a Jamaican. We remember people like Stanley George, who started the very first Jamaican organization in this community. We remember the work of individuals who came here as early as 1914 to work at the University of Rochester. We remember those individuals who participated in the Underground Railroad movement that went through this community. That is what the Caribbean community is about. So today is about reaffirming our shared value of diversity, whereby our collective and individual identities are celebrated as seen in all these flags flying in City Hall today. Today is about reaffirming our commitment to inclusive excellence, knowing that if we're not at the table, we are indeed on the menu, as stated by Michael Enzi. Today is about declaring that we are not merely located in Rochester and Monroe County, but that we are committed to fully immersing ourselves in the efforts to build a better community, a philosophy advanced by Dr. Martin Luther King and echoed by our Mayor Malik Evans and our County Executive Bello in many, many remarks they've given throughout our community. Today is about reaffirming our commitment to being a part of the change we aspire to see in Rochester and Monroe County by elevating our cultural relevance, not only during the month of June, but throughout the year. And in particular, this year, as Jamaica gets ready to celebrate its 60th independence. And believe it or not, Rochester will not be left out of that party, because on July 22nd, we will celebrate in true Jamaican, Caribbean, Rochester style, the Jamaica 60th Independence Holiday Inn, Rochester downtown, 6 to midnight. Bring your dancing shoes. Bring your appetite. Bring your spirit of embracing the fullness of the Caribbean culture in this community. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Danielle and Joe. We appreciate your sentiments, and we appreciate you leading your organization's commitment to promoting the Caribbean culture in our community. And I will tell you, each country has its own unique language, its own unique tone, its own unique flavor on the food, even though there's significant similarities that course through every single of the 24 island nations. And in closing, I would like to thank each of you for attending this morning. And a special thank you to the Caribbean American Heritage Month committee members for your hard work as well. We pushed through and we made this happen today and for the month. Throughout the month, I do encourage you to be proactive and stay engaged by visiting rochesterjamaica.org and rwifo.com to learn how you can join the festivities planned for the Caribbean American Heritage Month throughout June, as well as how you can be engaged in celebrating the Caribbean community throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you all at the closing event on June 28th at 5 o'clock, right here at City Hall. Until then, I encourage you all to shop local and shop Caribbean. You heard us talk about the plenty of food that's there. And the good thing is it's become so diverse. You can get Haitian all the way down to Dominican Republic and Puerto Rican. So there's nothing that will stop you from engaging and exciting your taste bud. Just go and say, can I have that, right? In addition, please also stop by City Hall during business hours to see the flags that are beautifully displayed in this wonderfully sunlit hallway in the atrium. And we encourage you and we challenge you to try to to guess which island flags are represented without using Google or asking for Siri to help. This is another way that it's engaging, that you learn about the Caribbean, its culture, its people, its arts, its crafts, its food. So thank you all for attending. I appreciate you, and I look forward to celebrating Caribbean American Heritage Month with you all. Thank you. And thank the media for coming.
Thank you, media.
Right.